All right. This debate is fascinating, not because it's explosive, but because it exposes two completely different ways of thinking. You've got Andrew Wilson making a structural cause and effect argument about power and rights, and across from him, someone responding almost entirely from emotion and moral intuition. Now, that contrast matters, because when you mix a causal argument with a moral one, you don't get a conversation. You get people talking past each other. My goal here isn't to replay what was said. It's to break down why the exchange collapses, where the logic fails, and what that says about how people handle uncomfortable truths. Let's get into it.
If the men collectively in Iran woke up tomorrow and went, got no rights, to all the women who are in Iran.
Well, I mean, every day they did do that.
Yeah, so. And is there anything they can do about it without appealing to men?
Why would what? So well, you want like some weird like men, Amazonian style like women only island that can like take over?
I'm just, my whole point is to say that all of your rights come to you because men give them to you, and I can prove this and demonstrate it by expressing to you that if men decide you have no rights tomorrow, you don't. Now let's do the other. Let's be fair. Let's say the other way around. All the women in Iran were like, hey, you know what? Fuck you, men. You have no rights. Do you think, Nina, that the men, that they would just be like, oh, okay. Okay, then. All right. And that the women could actually enforce such a mandate? Or do you think only men?
Well, I don't really feel like that would be something they're interested in, because that doesn't advance their own rights. Like taking away the rights of another person doesn't give you more rights. Would you say the same thing about black people?
This is would you say
would you say the same thing about black people?
Say what about black people?
And slavery.
Okay, look at her reaction. You can already see she's uncomfortable. Andrew just lays out a clear, logical point, and instead of actually answering it, she immediately jumps to something else. He's basically asking, if men decided tomorrow that women had no rights, what could women do about it? That's a question about power, not morality. And her response? Would you say the same about black people and slavery? Like, what? That's not even close. One is historical oppression based on race. The other is about how power and enforcement work in society right now. She's not even trying to engage with the argument. She's trying to score moral points. And this is something you see all the time. When people can't handle a logical point, they throw in a big emotional example to distract. It doesn't work here. Andrew isn't saying men should take rights. He's pointing out that they could, and that power imbalances are real. Instead of addressing that, she jumps straight to slavery.
There was, what do you mean?
Black people in America have rights, I guess you could say, because of white people.
You mean because men gave them rights? That goes to my point. So men took their rights away and men gave them rights.
We're talking about people that did not have rights previously, right? Correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But in this case, we're talking about a specific
Then they were given rights, correct?
By men.
And but your wording.
Yeah. So women weren't going and netting slaves and bringing them back to the New World. That was men. That was men who were doing that, and men were the ones who gave them their rights back.
No, but I'm saying, would you say the same thing about black people? Because black people in America only have rights because of, I guess, white people, right? That's kind of the same argument. Am I wrong?
No, it's not the same argument.
Okay, because how is that different?
What you're saying here specifically is actually going with my argument that men took away the rights of this race of man. Men gave back the rights of this race of man. Women did not do that. Women cannot do that.
What do you mean? We've already done it, so I don't know what the fuck you're
talking about. You've never done it. You've only never done.
I don't have any more rights than I had before.
You have rights that men have given you.
Okay, so black people have rights that white people give them then.
And that is actually a non sequitur.
In the United States.
It would be more fair to say that black men have rights that men gave to them and that other men took away from them. Why does the race matter?
Yeah, so you're saying the same.
Let's say they weren't black.
Men gave them.
Let's say they weren't black.
Gave them rights.
Let's just say they were pink people, or let's say they were polka dotted. Right? They were polka dotted pink people.
Why are you running away from black people? Like, what do you mean? I'm trying to
I'm trying to demonstrate to you. I'm trying to demonstrate to you. It doesn't matter what. No,
but I assume we're talking about historical context of the fact
even
that
in historical context, it still doesn't matter what color they are. Men would be the ones who took the rights away from the purple polka dotted people and men would be the ones who gave the rights back to the purple polka dotted people.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that leads to my argument then. Like, what do you mean?
Which is what?
Like,
look at this. Andrew's argument is about gender. That's it. It has nothing to do with race. And even if we grant her point for the sake of argument, say white people gave black people rights, it still comes back to men giving the rights, not women. So the whole conversation about race completely misses the point. And this is exactly what you see a lot in debates like this. She can't find a real counterargument. So the strategy becomes distract, deflect, and throw out emotional or nonsensical examples to derail the argument. It's like a bait and switch. Instead of engaging with the logic, you get sidetracked chasing a rabbit hole that doesn't even matter. That's why these debates feel circular.
That obviously you have to work as a fucking coalition. Like, what do you mean? Like,
how do you have to work as a coalition? You haven't made that argument.
Okay. Let's restart here because I'm getting a little confused with the pink polka dot argument. Okay, so if we're talking about
historic, this always happens.
You're talking what? That I have to think for a second? Like,
no,
okay,
the Nemoids start
okay,
the
it's just because you keep talking. Okay. Anyways, so if you're talking about like, give me a example of the fact that the feminist movement, right? They had to like work for their rights, correct? You would agree with that?
Well, I mean, there was a small sect of women, yes, but men, by and large, were the ones who funded the entire feminist movement, especially large scale. It was all funded by men, and men ultimately were the ones who decided whether or not the women got the rights.
Okay. Anyways, so sure. We'll go with that, I guess. But it doesn't matter. They obviously, like, why did they, like, do you think that women's rights just, like, sprung up because of a bunch of simps? Like, what is your argument with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the only reason women have rights is because a bunch of simps.
The only reason women have rights because men gave them to them, yes. Can you give me an argument for how that's not true? How women could attain their rights if men decided that they didn't want them to have them? Can you give me an argument for how women could have them anyway?
Well, because it's more efficient to, like if we're talking about even, like,
that's
in terms
not
of
my question. Let me try my question again. Can you give me an argument for if men decided women have no rights, how women could go ahead and have rights anyway, even if men said no? Can you give me a single argument for how they could do
even
that?
If you're gonna, okay, so to engage with your exact phrasing, I guess we could say that if you think, what do you think the simpatry, like, how did they get rights to begin with? You said just simps?
Yeah, because men gave them the rights. Yeah.
Why?
Who cares? You can engage with the argument.
Well, I think it's kind of important.
Why? Because they did. Because men. Here's
why.
They did. Because men are magnanimous. There we go. Magnanimous. Yeah. And they're so nice and they're so kind. They just decided one day they would give you some rights just to be nice. But you guys have been fucking that all up. You guys have been fucking that all up. So why shouldn't we just take them back? And if you could make a good argument for why we shouldn't take them back, you should start with just conceding the ground that if we decide to take them, you can't do anything about it.
Why do you think we can't do anything about it? This is a democracy.
What can you do? What can you do about it?
At this point, it's pretty clear she's not ready for this debate. With all these questions she's throwing out, it's like she's just waiting for him to make the points for her. It doesn't even feel like a debate anymore, more like a one-sided Q&A. And since the very beginning, she hasn't put forward a single solid argument. She's just reacting, asking questions, trying to poke holes that aren't even there. You can tell she came in without a plan and has no real way to actually engage.
It's a democracy. I mean, what is your method?
Yeah, but I mean, if men decide tomorrow it's not a democracy, it's also not a democracy. And women couldn't do anything about that either. You see what I mean? It's an ongoing chain.
It's a 50-50 thing. We have the same amount of votes. Like, what do you mean?
One more time. Let me give my argument again. If men collectively in the United States decided tomorrow there's no more democracy, then there's no more democracy. Now, if women decided tomorrow collectively there's no more democracy, she's making a sandwich and we don't care. There's nothing they can do about it.
How would that come about, though?
The same way it came about when men fought off the British and decided it was no longer a monarchy.
So,
you remember the Declaration of Independence? It was that document that all those women signed. Not one.
Okay, no, but so the way that we got independence was obviously fighting against the British. So are you going to say that you would like then like what, like kill all women or something?
Did we kill all women when we fought off the monarchy and
No, but
men
we killed like
decided
all
to
the
instate?
British people. Like, what
Right.
do you mean?
So men gave themselves rights. Got it. And they took their rights from other men, and other men were trying to make an imposition of the type of governance that they wanted. And women, well, they didn't really do shit because there wasn't really shit they could do. But this is my whole point. Regardless of which system you say, if you say, now listen, Andrew, this isn't fair. We live in a democracy. That's true. But my argument is, just like when we lived in monarchies, anytime a man decides or men decide collectively it's not going to be a monarchy anymore, it's not. Anytime men collectively decide it's not going to be a democracy anymore, it's not going to be a democracy either. And there's nothing women can do about it. But if the flip side happens and women decide this, men don't have to go along with it, and there's nothing women can do.
That is so stupid. I don't even know how to engage with that.
Right, let's just call it stupid. This is straight out of the feminist socialist playbook. When they can't actually defend what they're saying, they fall back on these emotional, backhanded tactics. You can't win with facts or logic, so the next best move? Act outraged. Act confused. And then she brings up killing all women. Like, as if that's somehow the same as the British monarchy thing. That was men fighting men. Men were killed because they posed a threat to the ruling power. Women weren't even part of that struggle, so they weren't targeted. That's literally the point Andrew's making. Even if, hypothetically, men decided tomorrow, all right, women no longer have rights, they wouldn't have to kill a single woman to make it happen. Because let's be real, women aren't a threat in that sense. They don't have the physical or structural power to fight back and flip the system. That's the whole point. She's trying to equate two completely different things, and it just shows. She's out of arguments. And that's the reality. When it comes to actual dominance and influence, women can't just reverse the system. They can protest, they can complain, they can make noise, sure, but at the end of the day, the structure stays the same. Just saying.
Let me start with an argument. That would be great.
Right. Yeah, no, I know. That's just like, it's just so ridiculous. Like, it's amazing that you can trip me up like that. What the fuck are you saying? You're saying that what, like all men can just overthrow the US government right now? Like, or are you implying that there's just more men like in like as like 50-50? As a 50-50 like thing? Like, you think that women are not in government? Like, are you just like an authority? I know your name is Big Papa Fascist, but I didn't think that that was a name that you actually felt like it related to you. I thought it was just like a nickname that people gave you or something like that.
Come on.
Like, I don't understand.
You socialists call anybody a fascist who doesn't go, no, trans rights, oh no, more gays.
Is your name not? Sorry, is your name not that? Am I dead naming you? I didn't mean to offend you if that was the case.
Do you know what a joke is? Like what a joke name is? The whole point of saying a paleoconservative Big Papa Fascist was to demonstrate that no matter what I said, which was a true statement, I would be called a fascist by the left, kind of like what's happening right now. But let me go back. I'll just explain it to you again if you're so confused about the argument. I read it off verbatim, but I'm going to read it again.
Okay. Yeah, please.
Which is that
as a woman, I guess
every single positive right that exists, women can't give themselves. They don't have rights except the ones
how does one get any rights?
Men give them to them. And men's rights come from God.
Oh, so you're going to do the whole thing where your entire argument is like, oh, it's just because God.
No, I'm not hinging it on God. I don't believe that there's inalienable rights anyway. So there's no inalienable rights for men either, except the ones that we give ourselves. We have dominion over the planet. So
again, going back to this, so then how did black people get rights?
Because men gave them rights.
Okay.
So
right. Let's just call it what it is. We're going in circles. She keeps twisting hypotheticals, asking questions, but she's not actually engaging with the point. No real argument, just round and round. I'm just going to let the rest play out. It's just the same thing over and over.
Men enslaved men, and then men freed men, and then men gave other men rights. That's
how that works. There's black women enslaved too, right?
And men also gave them rights.
Okay. So what are you trying to say with that?
That men give other men rights. and
Okay,
take other
so
men's rights away, and also always either give women rights or take women's rights away.
so
The
you think
reason,
that in
the reason I explained in my opening statement the Ninamoids was because I knew that no
because
matter
it's your
what,
trope.
you could not concede to this argument. You can
Uh-huh.
reframe it all you want, you can dance around
Uh-huh.
it all you want, but eventually you're just
Uh-huh.
going to have to concede because there's nothing you can say. It's just true. It's objectively true.
That what? And does men give? I mean, I think human beings obviously are the ones that make the structures of government. I don't feel like this is any
You mean
particularly
men? Because if men
man-only
decide to pull
statement.
down the structures of government, they can, and there's nothing women can do to stop them.
Well, it seems like women are taking the W on that one because it seems like you guys fucking suck at keeping us without rights. So
Oh
as
yeah,
much as I
would
know
you
that
like
you
to
conservatives
go
try,
country by country and see if that's correct? Would you like to go country by country and
we're talking about
see
the
if
United
there's
States, dude.
countries? Oh, well, hang on. You can't just isolate patriarchal system to the United States, which even here though it's a patriarchal system. How could you
Yeah,
say it's not?
I'm not saying that.
All right. So if the paradigm is it's patriarchal, can you tell me how women could possibly ever, if men decide collectively not to give them rights, how they could have them or no?
Well, if your argument is that, I guess we could just kill all of you. I mean, if that's like what your argument is based off of like what we did with the British.
And how do you think that women
I don't know
could
why
go
we would
about
do that, though.
accomplishing that?
Well,
we
with
don't. Well, we
guns,
don't
what do
need
you
to kill
mean?
you though. That's the thing is that we don't need to kill women to do that. Just like in all the
Okay.
countries where women exist right now, where men
So
completely
you're
and totally
wait. But this is a democracy. So how are you going to do that without eliminating the population? That
You
is
wouldn't need to
the
eliminate the population. All you would need to do is to convince enough men that you no longer need to have a democracy, and you won't.
And that pretty much sums it up. The debate just went in circles from there, not because the topic was complicated, but because she didn't really bring any arguments to stand on. When you've got nothing solid, you just keep looping back. Anyway, if you want to watch the full debate, it's up on Rumble. Links in the description. Don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you in the next one.